What does it mean to be human, and what will I do with my life? That's a pretty big title, and those are big questions. It is, I believe, divine to dream, to envision, to want something more, something beautiful, good, and loving. It is human to find limits, limits to what we want. We find limits in ourselves, in others, in circumstances, and we live in this balance, dealing with what happens, with the limitations we meet, while believing that what we want is possible, and moving toward those possibilities. What we do with our lives is increase the odds on making what we want possible. And all everybody really wants is to love and be loved.
This month of January is named for the Roman god Janus. Janus has two faces. One turns to the front and one to the back. One face looks to the past, and one looks toward the future. Janus carries the keys to close the door of the past, of the old year, and to open up the door of the new. Janus is a god of endings and of beginnings. Here we are, the first Sunday of January. One year ends and another just begins. Before Janus locks the door to the old year, it's good to reflect on 2013. January provides an arbitrary ending and starting point to look at ourselves, our dreams, our shortcomings, and our possibilities. We look back and recognize, perhaps honor, the struggles we've had over the past 12 months. We can see how we are different from, or the same as, last year. Probably some of both. Maybe from the last year's experiences, we have come to new understandings of ourselves and of others. As the new year begins, we can let dreams and possibilities arise. This is a holy time, a time when we pause, reflect, ponder, and imagine. If you haven't already done so, find some quiet time to reflect on 2013. There is still time to remember and to learn from it, to honor and to appreciate the year.
For many years, our family created time capsules of the year that had just gone by. We would fill a cookie tin with objects and photos from the year. And this year, our son Ben came home for the holidays. He took down from the shelf a couple of the old time capsules, and we looked inside. Our 1996 time capsule includes photos that marked our move from Utah to California. There's a photo to the beloved home with which we said goodbye in Salt Lake City, and then one of our new home here. There's a photo of the church building of the congregation we served there, and there's a photo of this church building. The time capsule includes a copy of the order of service when the two of us ended our ministry there. Our last Sunday service was a celebration. The service was called Exaltation, Exhalation, and Extolation. The lay leaders led it, appreciating things that had happened throughout our years there. That good ending with that congregation allowed for a good beginning for our installation as ministers of this congregation. Honoring and appreciating ending a year makes for a good beginning of the next.
What would you honor and appreciate about this last year? What about this last year in this church community? If we were to create a UUCB time capsule for 2013, we would include photos of Amy Moses Lagos, Sherry Prudhomme, and Marcus Liefert, who served the congregation so lovingly as family minister, consulting minister, and intern minister.
We'd include a photograph of Maren Clough as Director of Family Ministry, beginning that ministry this year. I think I'd put in a photograph of her with the youth, maybe one of them outside, blessing that truckload of food and gifts that you gave to stock the Richmond pantry.
We'd include photos of former organist Ron Swedlund and the organ releathering project. We'd have a picture of the Organist Search Committee and the joyful announcement of the new organist, Katya Kolesnikova.
The 2013 UUCB time capsule would have copies of the programs for both Sue Magidson and Aya Simpson's ordination to Unitarian Universalist ministry by this congregation.
We would add materials on Cisco, the interfaith community organization with whom we are creating a relationship.
That capsule would surely include the Capital Campaign brochure and the beautiful book of reflections of members on the significance of this church in their lives.
The capsule of 2013 would have photos of beloved members who died and members who joined, and of babies who were welcomed, and so much more. We can light a candle in honor and gratitude for this last year of congregational life.
So yes, if you were going to create your very own time capsule for 2013, what would you place inside it? You can add objects and photographs and written reflections, and we really hope that you will find a quiet time and space soon to do this reflection.
Here are a few questions for you to reflect on. These questions are, and more of them, are available as you leave the sanctuary. What new paths did you travel in 2013? Of what did you let go? Where did you encounter beauty, mystery, the holy? What were regrets and disappointments? What are some good things that happened? Some of the special blessings of the year. You might share your reflections with a good friend or your partner or children. Maybe you'll light a candle at the end of your reflection in honor and gratitude for another year of life. In a few days, this opportunity for reflection on 2013 will have passed. It will seem no longer relevant or as interesting. Take time to acknowledge what has been and the ending to our calendar year. Endings make way for good beginnings.
For the last few years, our daughter Sarah has gone to a New Year's Day party where everyone who gathers makes collages for their hopes for the new year. With cutout words and pictures from magazine, everyone creates images and sets intentions for the next year. What pictures and words come to your mind as you imagine the new year? When you make time for reflection on 2013 and honor it, we also hope you will allow a chance for dreams to come for 2014. Look forward as well as behind. Envision possibilities. Here are some questions, and again, more are available for your consideration. How will you nurture your dream? What will you do regularly to renew your spirit? What justice issue will you pursue this year? Name a hope for the new year and what you will do to make it possible. Again, share these reflections with others, and then maybe you will light a candle for the mystery of your life and its unending possibility and promise.
Let these hopes and dreams become guides. Resolutions easily become ways we measure ourselves and find ourselves lacking because we're not making all the changes we resolved to make. Let these hopes and dreams point the way to the path we wish to travel. The path so easily overgrown and lost. They are not written in stone. Your answers may change. A dream that nurtures you and inspires you on January 5th may not on May 1st. You may discover a different justice issue that beckons you than the one you originally chose. You may find new answers to the New Year's questions.
Wouldn't it be a great goal for all of us this year to set out to make friends with ourselves rather than try to change ourselves? Bring loving kindness to your own heart, to your own self, as much as you bring it to the world. Accept being human and be gentle with yourself.
It was fun this holiday when our son Ben took a few of our family time capsules off the shelf. We looked through objects, words, and photos. Memories of times with people and places were stirred. We came upon a photo of 19 pairs of slippers we sent as Christmas presents in 1997 to 3 generations of my family in Oklahoma. Since my father's death in January of 2007, I have had his slippers. Each morning, when I walk in them, my father lives again in me. The young engineer, determined yet gentle, the committed church leader, the loving son, father, grandfather, great-grandfather, always open to the future, looking forward to the next chapter of his life. These slippers are worn. Not much tread is left. The bottoms are slick. I will let these slippers go. But I will always be grateful for my father. He will always be with me. Now, I envision and welcome 2014 with these new little shoes. Friday, just 2 days ago, our daughter Laura and our son-in-law Josh visited the doctor and learned the baby they are expecting is a boy, our first grandchild. As we enter the new year in a very real way, new life and new possibilities are before us. It is especially apparent to me with Laura's pregnancy. Yet I know that it is true for each one of us. This beginning year holds newness. I will light a candle for the mystery of life and its unending possibilities and promises.
Well, and here's my vision for 2014. For Christmas, Bill gave me these new hiking boots. So this new year, I know that I have miles to go. Once I wore shoes this small, and so did you. Since then, all of us, we've had a lot of growing. Physical, emotional, spiritual. Our colleague, the Reverend Terry Kime, helps us reflect on growing. We all have had many times of finding our way anew. We've all put on shoes and somehow managed to find our way and learn to love. Again and again and again, we did it. We are doing it now. Instead of maybe our shoe size changing, what's going to change and grow could be our heart size. The heart's capacity to embrace more, to keep growing, keep loving. Let's all take this special time before we get too far into January to look back to where we've come from and to trust in where we are going.
May all of us find our way into this new year. Let us do what we can to increase the odds on making the year something beautiful, something loving. May it be so.